Welcome to Slow American English, the podcast for learners of American English. I'm your host, Karen Tolliver. This is episode number 1604, Route 66. Route 66 is probably the most famous road in America, even though it officially no longer exists. The federal government commissioned the road in 1926. It was thought of as a superhighway at the time. Route 66 stretched from Chicago to Los Angeles, ending at the Santa Monica Pier on the Pacific Ocean. It ran through 8 states: Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. Other east-west highways existed at the time. However, Route 66 was the first federal highway to connect small communities and rural farmland to major cities across the American West. By 1938, the entire length of the highway was paved, after the Great Depression halted progress for many years. Because of Route 66, diners and motels became popular. Many motorists enjoyed traveling Route 66 because of the roadside attractions found in the small communities. These attractions included plastic life-size dinosaurs, statues of legendary characters like Paul Bunyan, the Wigwam motel chain whose rooms were shaped like Native American teepees, the Cadillac Ranch in Texas, a giant ball of twine, a giant popcorn ball, and a giant ketchup bottle. You can still see some of these attractions today, as well as similar attractions all over the country. Route 66 is firmly entrenched in American culture. John Steinbeck called it the Mother Road in his novel The Grapes of Wrath, published in 1939. In 1940, the book was made into a famous movie starring Henry Fonda. Hollywood has also paid homage to the famous highway many more times through the years. For example, in 2006, the animated film Cars depicts many of the roadside attractions and impressions of Route 66. In 1946, singer Nat King Cole made the song Get Your Kicks on Route 66 famous. Many others have recorded the song since then. In the 1960s, there was a TV show named after the highway in which 2 young men drove across the country. Route 66 was decommissioned in 1985 and replaced by interstate highways. Therefore, Route 66 no longer appears on official maps. However, many nonprofit and private organizations are devoted to preserving the spirit and path of the former highway. You can find many of these organizations online, along with maps, history, and roadside attraction information. Many people even today spend their vacations driving various parts of the old Route 66. A language note. The word route can be pronounced to rhyme with boot or with shout, depending on where you are from. However, when referring to this highway, it is usually pronounced to rhyme with boot, and so I have done in this podcast. That's the podcast for this time. Slow American English is written and produced by Karen Tolliver. Copyright 2015. The music for this podcast is written and performed by S.W. Campbell and used by permission. The opening theme song is Junie Says. The ending music is Beans and Dirty Rice. Find these songs and more music by this artist at www.soundclick.com/SWCAMPBELL. Please visit www.slowamericanenglish.net for a free transcript of this podcast. There you can also download additional materials for a small fee. Such materials include regular speed recordings, vocabulary exercises, comprehension quizzes, and discussion topics. You can subscribe to Slow American English for free via iTunes. This has been Slow American English. I'm Karen Tolliver. Thank you for listening.
Showed up one day. Well, that cat ain't good for nothing. Least of all, it gets you mad. She's chicken of the sea.